Welcome back to City of Heroes. Yay. I'm gonna continue looking around here in, wonderful, what's it called? Fault Line. Not that anything is gonna outwardly try to get me here, because holy crap, I'm... Nice, yay, first gift, nice. Hopefully, all the ones that people were just grabbing multiple things out of has vanished. I thought that was a gift. That's not. That is. Hi guys. You suck. I think it's funny. There's two Fortunatas sitting there just staring at me as I open a gift. Had an interesting discussion with someone I've known on YouTube and Twitch for a while about the Game Awards. Okay, there's such a thing as taking things. Hey, what? Are you stupid? Obviously you are. Okay. No. There's such a thing as taking fandom too far. Okay. I will say this. I have my games of the year. One of them is Clair Obscur. However, there are people that are taking it to extreme levels. And that should never be the case. You should never be taking your love of something to an almost fanatical level. And yeah, I love Clair Obscur, do not get me wrong, but I also feel it shouldn't have been nominated for everything. And it was one instance that we talked about was the Indie Game Awards. They took the award away from them because they were found to have used generative AI at the beginning of the project. Now, that's not inherently bad because the team actually, they just used it to get some ideas. Now, I am totally against AI. I'm a writer. I'm sorry, AI schlop is AI schlop. However, 95% of the game was made by them. Now, I'm not saying the Indie Game Awards didn't do what they wanted to do. It's clear and set out that if you used generative AI or AI of any type, they updated a couple years ago that your game can't not be up for it, for their awards. And also, the Sandbox Studios was very clear that, yes, we did this, we screwed up, we're sorry. And they accepted it with grace. So on both sides, it was okay. It was okay. Clair Obscur is going to win a ton of awards. And I don't fault them for using things to get ideas on how to do things, because they were a team that didn't know how to make a game. They did not know how to make a game. But the people that are going, how dare you, how dare you? It's not the Expedition 33 Awards, it's the Indie Game Awards, and they made it clear they're not going to accept games that have AI. That utilized AI in development, even just a little bit. That is their right, because it's their awards. God. The other thing was, there's an artist that didn't particularly like the game Clair Obscur. And people are like, oh, stay in your lane. I'm like, no, that is also not okay. I have friends that don't like turn-based RPGs. And they admit Clair Obscur isn't their type of game. Hey, that's their opinion. They're allowed to have that opinion. You're not allowed to give them shit because they don't like Clair Obscur. That's wrong. That is wrong. And it puts a really bad taste in my mouth and makes me want other games to beat it out now for awards. That's why I didn't pick it over Dispatch or Final Fantasy Tactics or the other game or South of Midnight, because I felt I'm now beginning to feel that there's a fanatical base attached to the game. That is not respectful of other people's opinions. And that puts a sour taste in my mouth. When I first made my top 100 video games of all time list, I did not put Final Fantasy VI on the list. And that's because people were mad that it wasn't in the top 10. It was like, it better be in the top 10. And I put it at 25 because I don't like Kefka. I've made no mistake. I think Kefka is just a Final Fantasy's version of the Joker. And I didn't like him in that context. Final Fantasy VI has the greatest ending of all time that no one has been able to touch or come across. Again, I can love a game, but still find faults in it. I don't like Last of Us Part 2, even though I have a friend that was directly involved in the game. Actually, more than one. And I don't like the game. I don't like the dark narrative, but it is a great game. I'm just not a fan of dark narratives. People are allowed to have their opinions. It's like the pacifist people. If you don't do a pacifist run in Undertale, that fandom gets upset. And I think that's kind of ridiculous. And my whole thing is Silksong had this window of here it is, and it came out finally, and it's great. And I'm going to say this. I agree with my friend. I think Silksong's music is better than Claire Obscure's. Both have fantastic soundtracks, but I think Silksong's is so much better. Claire Obscure has a soundtrack that I like, and I have a few pieces in my rotation, but Silksong has a ton of tracks that I just listen to over and over and over. Claire Obscure only has a handful. Okay, I love Claire Obscure, but I don't agree with fanaticism. I don't. It is not the way to handle things. It gets things looked at in a dim view. And right now I'm beginning to get a really not so great view of Expedition 33. It's not that I'm going to ever say it's a bad game. I won't, but being that fanatical about, oh, how dare you not love my game without condition, that's kind of addiction. I love sandbox games. I love what they did. They put AAA studios on the mark for stop putting out shit. They did a great job. They've started a discussion that needed to be happening years ago. But so did Silksong. So did Dispatch. Square Enix did it with Final Fantasy Tactics. Ghost of Yotai is a single-player adventure game with barely anything other than cosmetic DLC. And it is one of the best games of the year and didn't win shit. And that's a shame. It really is. And there's people like, AAA loss. And I'm like, no, there are games in the AAA venue that did exceedingly well and should be praised for doing right by the players. Yotai is one such example. It's a AAA game, and the developers did a great job with it. Because I love Tsushima and I love Yotai. They both are fantastic games, and that can't be taken away from them. Yet we've the fanatics that just it's Claire Obscure or nothing, I think need to kind of wake up before they take things way too far. The conversation is being said, yes, but you can't be of a mind of it's our way or the highway. It's not really how it works. You can get to that point where it's just too much in your face all the time, and people are going to get tired of it. And I'm one of those people that gets tired of that. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm at that point because I love how gracious Sandbox Games did their awards acceptance. They thank Final Fantasy, the creator of Final Fantasy. They thanked. Oh, these are still people are still doing this stupidity. They thanked Jennifer English. I love her because she put out that LGBTQ neurodivergent fans, game devs, etc. have been given a home by the indie scene, and they have. They have. So has the AAA venue. I mean, look at Last of Us. Last of Us has a heavy LGBTQ element to it. My stuff is gonna have a heavy LGBTQ thing to it in a tasteful way. It's the conversations that are being had, I think, are more important than whether Clear Obscure wins awards. Do I think it deserves Game of the Year? Yes, undoubtedly. I think it deserves Game of the Year, but I do not think it needs Pressure of the Year. And right now, there's a lot of pressure coming from certain fans towards people that are like going, I wish this would have won, and they don't value other people's opinion, which is kind of wrong. And I don't agree with it at all. Because you can love something and understand that other things might be deserving of an award alongside it. That's my piece. We're going to get one more package here and look at where I'm at. Whoops. Man, I whipped two of them. Hope everybody's having, other than that, I hope everybody's having a great holiday season. I really do. Whoa, shit. Hi, guys. I don't want to fight you two yet. I do need to get the Lost boss, and that's one of them. Meh, I'm gonna punch him. Let's see, where am I at? Badges. Events. Let's go down to the bottom. 119. Wow, I've actually gotten more. Let's get one more. Let's go grab two more, because I like doing it. Wait, 119, 19, 20, 21. No, I'm at exactly where I want to be. It's visible by 3. Get me. All right, that's going to be it for me today, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. There'll still be City of Heroes videos this week. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon.